I'm having an issue with my Rav4 window. So you can see it's not going down all the way. While coming up, when it gets to the very top, it makes a good thunk sound. Coming down, everything seems fine, but then it gets kind of jammed up or something's hitting inside. You can see the movement of the window. So I gotta take the door panel off to see what's going on. To get the door panel off, you need to pull the little trim cover off that's right by where the handle is. Cover looks kind of like this, or it looks like this. It's in there. To get it off, you're gonna need some sort of tool, preferably like a pick tool like this that has a little right angle at the end. That way you can kind of hook underneath the corner of this and pop it off. Another piece that needs to come off is this cover for the pull handle, because behind it are some Phillips screws. There's one there and one in the bottom. There's one Phillips screw right there for the handle. To get this off, again using the pick tool, you kind of want to just go under on the corner on the back side, so maybe right in there. Give it a really good hard pull, and this will pop off. Now, the switch, grab the switch. The switch actually doesn't have to come out, but it makes your life a lot easier if you pull the switch off and unplug it before you take the panel off, then you're not fighting it. To get the switch off, same thing with the same tool. You just want to get underneath at the corner right there, give it a good pull, like pull upwards, and it'll release. It just has like a clip like that right there, that yellow clip. So pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to remove these 3 screws, and then you just want to get your hand on the edge and give it a good pull. Now this one I've already released or pulled. There's just a bunch of push clips around the door panel holding it on. Now it's actually quite tight, they're on there very tight, so you will have to give it a really good pull. You may almost feel like you're going to break it, but just once you've got 1, 2, 3 screws out, give it a good pull around the edge, all the way around the edge at the front, the back, and the bottom, and then you'll be able to lift the door panel off. To get the door panel off, once it's all released, put your hand on the handle, lift upwards, and it'll slide off at the top. Okay, screws are out. One last little trim piece to come off, just this corner. I might be able to do it just with my hand. There we go. Little push pin there. And now I've got it all released. I can just grab with the handle, kind of flex it outwards at the bottom, like that, and then should be able to just lift it off. There we go. Now, with this lifted off, there is where the handle goes on the back. So I'll pull this with my leg. And if I remember correctly, if you just give that a little bit of a wiggle, it'll just pop off. Like so. Hopefully you're able to kind of see that. Basically, just give it a bit of a movement back and forth, and it'll pop out of its holder. Okay, so that's how easy it is to get that door panel off. Now that that's off, we can actually pull this vapor barrier off. Now with these vapor barriers, you may be tempted to just like if it tears or whatever, just pull it off and throw this out. But you don't want to throw it out. It actually helps keep any sort of moisture or vapor in the door panel and not going inside the vehicle. Another big thing is that if water's splashing from like the window kind of thing, you could get a water leak inside the vehicle if you just pull this vapor barrier off. So definitely want to just stick this back on to the best of your ability. You can use like duct tape or something like that to stick it back on after. So I'm just going to pull this vapor barrier out, and then we'll take a look at what's going on with the window. Well, lucky for me, it's a really easy fix. Looks like the screw just fell out of this window linkage to the actual window, and it was causing it to, the actual mechanism to move downwards, but the window get jammed up, and the little bolt or screw had just fallen down inside the door. So I was able to retrieve it using a magnet. There it is there, this little guy. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of blue Loctite. Yes, I know it's a red bottle, but it is indeed blue Loctite. I wouldn't use red Loctite because these do need to be removed at points, you know, if the window ever breaks, that kind of thing. So I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite to make sure it doesn't fall out again. And while I'm here, I'm going to take the other one out and put some Loctite on that one as well, just because I don't want to do it all over again. It's also a good time if you want to put a little bit of grease in the track here, the little window track, just so it slides nice and smooth. Okay, door panel's all back together. Basically just reinstall it, put all the clips back on. To re-engage the clips like around the door, all you do is kind of push the door and all the clips will basically reseat so it's nice and tight. Put the screws back in, all the little covers. Make sure you plug your switch in before you put your switch in. And then test to make sure it all works. That sounds better. Perfect. All right, so that was it. Pretty straightforward. And hopefully this was helpful if you're having a similar issue.